Hello everyone, I am Glenn, and welcome to the Glenliness weekly vlog. It is Saturday evening. My wife is getting into the car. We are going to grab some dinner. And then we are going to see a show behind me at Barley Sheaf. After that, I will be breaking down the set, or helping break down the set. I'm not doing it all myself. Hold on, let me back out of this parking spot. So my wife drove separately so that she can go home and relieve the babysitter while I am here working on breaking the set down. Is everything okay?
No.
What's wrong?
There was a wasp in the car.
Oh, is it no longer in the car?
Yes.
Okay. There was a wasp in the car, but now it's gone, so everything's okay. Yee. Anyway, yeah, so our son is with a babysitter now, and we're gonna grab some dinner and then go see the show. We're seeing Cemetery Club, which is, I think, like a comedy drama, a drama comedy, a dramedy, a comma, I don't know. And yeah, so that's the evening's plans. Today we went and got some new phones, and I might start doing some vlogging, some recording on those phones. This is still on my camera, but the new phone has a much better camera and stereo recording and all of that, so I might see if that's a little easier and a little more nondescript than carrying around a big G7X, which, yes, I use a G7X, which is, I know, the classic vlogger phone.
Camera.
Yeah, camera, thank you, vlogger camera. But it works really well. There's a reason that it gets used by as many vloggers as it does. So yeah, crossing over Route 30, right? No, 113. Crossing over 113, heading over to Chicago Uno Pizzeria Uno Grill Chicago, whatever it's called these days. It used to be Pizzeria Uno, then it was like Uno Chicago Grill. Is it just Uno now?
I don't know, but that's what I call it because it's easier.
I suppose that is easier than Uno Chicago Grill. Sorry, we got speed bumps to get over there. You know, it's not fine dining or anything, but it's very close to the theater, usually not too crowded, and it's decent. Right? Decent?
Yes.
I'd call it decent.
It's very decent.
Uno Chicago Bar and Grill. That's what the sign says. So in case you're wondering, that is the official name. So we're gonna go get something. It does look crowded. Of course, now that I told you all that it's not crowded, it's packed. It's crazy.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll see what we can do, and I will check in with you later. Bye-bye. So it is about 12:30 a.m. on Sunday. I just pulled into the garage. Sorry, I am super tired. This is probably about 3 hours after I usually go to bed. The set strike actually went about as smoothly as could be, but there really was not a lot of help. I might have taken down like almost half that set just myself. I mean, the whole cast and everything was there, but the show, as I had said, was a Cemetery Club, which is 3 like middle-aged women and 1 older guy, so it's not the, I don't want to insult anybody, it's not the spryest cast in the world, and they're just, they called for help, but nobody came in there. Not that I'm the spryest person in the world either, but so I did a lot of the work, but it's mostly done. The platforms weren't taken up to the attic, so the platforms and flats, they're usually stored in the attic. The next show is using all the flats, which are what make up the walls. The platforms, you know, rise up the floor, but they're not using any of those in the next show, which is the one that I am consulting, directing. But they're just, I had to get home, because I'm sure Ollie's going to wake me up in like 4 hours or something, but, you know, what are you going to do? They needed the work done, so I was there, and I did what had to be done. I got a little gift from the cast, a little mug here, which is very nice of them, and a card, which I'm going to open. I haven't opened it yet, but the show was really, it was excellent. It's actually probably one of the best things that I think I've seen at this theater. I've seen some of these actresses before, and they've always been good, but they were just outstanding in the show. It was just a really good show. I'm not being very eloquent because I'm super tired, and I really just should shut this off, go inside, and get what little sleep I can get. So yeah, I might check in with you a little bit tomorrow. I probably will at some point. But for now, good night. Actually, I guess check in with you later today since it's already after midnight, but you know what I mean. Bye for now. So it is 10 o'clock on Sunday night. I am heading home from the theater. I just attended the rehearsal of the show that I am consulting directing. This was their first night off book for the whole show, running everything. And you know what? It looked good. They did a really good job. Yeah, there was still some calling for lines and stuff like that, but considering this was their first time running the whole show off book, I was duly impressed. As I've said, you know, this is pretty much just me signing on so that a new director could get to direct, and I had no doubts of her skill and her ability to put on a good show, and it looks like this is going to be a good show, so I'm definitely pleased with what I saw. It was a little rough getting there because my son was not behaving well right before leaving. We did manage to squeeze in our Sunday night tradition of pizza and a movie. We watched Kung Fu Panda, which was a little more adult, a little more violent than I had remembered. And I think for those reasons, I mean mostly for the adult reason, the boy was not super into the movie and he was getting distracted at that point and not really watching, so that didn't go too well. The pizza was tasty because our usual place is delivering again on Sunday, so I'm definitely happy with that. I mean, our usual place is open. If they just weren't delivering, that wouldn't have been a big deal, but they had been closed on Sunday for the summer. Anyway, sorry, switching lanes. So the movie didn't go great, and then he was just like, he kept jumping off his chair onto the floor, and thought it was funny, and I kept telling him not to do it. We both were telling him not to do it several times, and he kept doing it, and I got really mad, and I kind of screamed no at him, which was like a failure on my part. I can't yell at him like that. That doesn't help any, and he, if anything, just thinks it's funny. And then I had to go get ready, and then my wife was getting mad at him. He apparently was like throwing his toys around, so he started crying because she was putting him in timeout, and then she was getting really mad, and I was mad, and he was mad, and everybody was mad right about when I had to leave. So I'm like, all right. Went into his room, sat down, and I talked to him. The big problem we're having lately is when we tell him no, he doesn't listen, he doesn't hear, he doesn't something. He's really, really testing us. And I think that's just something 3-year-olds do, but it's very frustrating for all parties involved. Because how do you get a 3-year-old to listen to you and to understand that things aren't going to be going his way all the time for his entire life? It just doesn't work that way, as most people know by the time they're grown up. But how do you learn that? I mean, I'll be perfectly honest, I was not the best at learning that, and I'm still working on it. I like getting my way, and to me it seems natural that everybody likes getting their way, but you just got to understand that it can't be that way, because there's a lot of people out there, and if one person gets their way, that usually means other people aren't getting their way. And it's better if you kind of split the time, and sometimes you get your way, sometimes people you're with get their way, and everybody at some point is happy. That's what it's all about, right? And I know my boy's still happy, and I'm still happy with him, and I'm glad that I was able to have a chat with him and break through, and it felt like he was like, okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. At least I hope that was the case. And if not, we'll have the discussion again, and we'll keep having it until things go like they need to go. So, that's that. It was a very, very theatrical weekend. Like I said, show was good last night. Exhausting doing the set strike, but at least it got more or less done. There's still some platforms that need to be moved up to the attic for storage, but yeah, that'll get done. So there you go. Yeah, So the set strike was pretty good, all things considered. I did get less than 4 hours of sleep last night, but when my son napped, I napped as well, and as it turned out, I napped longer than he did. My wife was kind enough to make sure that that would happen. I set an alarm, and I was trying to get, about 90 minutes, about one sleep cycle, but I must have just turned off the alarm when it went off, because I don't really remember that. And then my son came down, apparently was like staring at me sleeping for a good solid minute, and then she brought him in to see Mr. Rogers, to watch Mr. Rogers, which I'm so glad is available on Amazon, and I'm so glad that he enjoys it, because you gotta love Mr. Rogers. And that's that. Rehearsal, good. Gonna be going back a few more times, but I think I'm gonna skip during this week, because she's gonna work on a few specific scenes, and I'll go back when they're running larger chunks again, and see what I see. And yeah, glad to be involved, even if it is somewhat peripherally. Really good cast. It seemed like a great bunch of folks, and they're doing an excellent job with the show, so what more could you ask for? I guess that's about it for this week. Thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate it. I know there's very few of you out there that are listening to me rant and rave and babble like this, but I like doing it, even if people don't like watching it. I'm going to continue putting it down and see who picks it up. Until next week, bye-bye.